Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.
Welcome back. We're here with Commissioner Boraski. Before we went to that break, we were speaking about veterans' benefits, primarily focused around health care. Another issue that had recently come up was the implementation or rollout in the county of the Affordable Care Act, and in fact a federal grant that was proposed to the commission allowing for the Affordable Care Act to position the citizens and small business owners on how this is going to change operations and healthcare in the county. It was voted down in somewhat controversial fashion. Can you explain your position on that?
Well, I think a lot of people really didn't understand. If we'd accepted that, we would have had to pay a match that we couldn't do. If we turned it down, they will only have to accept whatever funding they could get through the state. So to me, it sounded very controversial, and but I think we asked our attorney, Mr. Kunze, and he said you're better off to not accept it than you would be to accept it, because once you accept it, we'd have to pull money off of some other function, and we don't have extra money in the county.
To detail what we're talking about in particular was that there was a federal grant that would put a certain amount of dollars into, I think it was $1 million, into helping hire some full-time positions for people to go out and act as a liaison between the program and people within the county. And you're saying that, in fact, the county was going to have a mandate that they must match dollar for dollar for that same grant to be
Well,
enacted.
we would be liable for, maybe match is the right word.
Okay.
We would be liable for, whereas if we didn't accept the grant, then that would only be paid at whatever level that the state was going to take care of.
So as you had referenced earlier in the show, again, this is a federal mandate that's being pushed down to the state and then the county level. And your feeling is if it was simply something that the county couldn't afford.
Well, unfunded mandates were hit with it all the time from the state and the federal government. And they just throw it down to us and say, well, you have to pay for it, and they make it law. And it's like, we can't absorb any more than we have right now. We can't do things that we really want to. We were talking about a bus service a little while ago. We can't afford to have that. We can't, I mean, there's so much that they keep sending our way, and they don't think anything of it. And they pass more laws every year.
Speaking of grants, and one that I know that you have some experience with, recently the Brownsville grant, where Nye County is going to benefit to the tune of $1 million.
Yeah.
What in particular is that money to be designated or used for? And
Well,
do you have an idea what the project's going to be?
Well, back up just a little bit. We had a Brownfields grant a few years ago, and it was very successful. It was for training individuals who all got diplomas in a whole matrix of backgrounds, and it was, you know, OSHA training. It was in all the required classes that they had, three different classes they had. And I actually sat through most of one of those courses and sat at all three of the graduations. The gal that ran that program had like about an 85% success rate on placement afterwards.
Wow.
So this new grant is a little bit different because it not only, and Stacy from the coalition would be a good guest to have on, who's actually running it, give you more information on it.
Stacy on. She's great.
Yes, and she's phenomenal. And it's not only a training grant, but there's also going to be a certain amount of money put in for cleanups. And it'll be up to, and I'm not too sure who's going to be up to, but it's going to be up to somebody to decide which sites will be cleaned up in Nye County.
Okay.
They qualify. They have to qualify.
They have to qualify in order to, so there will be a bidding process put into place.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems to be that we're, on the national level, we're seeing the economy pick up, okay? Or at least we were being told that. From your level today within the county, are you seeing that the economic development efforts that a lot of people in public service and also in the private sector have been trying to propel, are we seeing more projects coming to the pipeline?
Well, if you look at Las Vegas, so goes Las Vegas. Slightly a few years after that goes Pahrump, and everything that they've done over there, they have the experience and the knowledge to send to us, and sometimes we don't look at that. That's going to happen here too. It is picking up. There are a few, there's not the numbers we'd like to see.
Right.
There's a lot of interest in projects right now. One of them is going to be a reality. There's a huge expansion at the racetrack. We all know that Front Sight is looking to expand, and a few hotels are rumored to be built soon. And all these things mean jobs and shake up in the economy. It's been pretty quiet. We did a moratorium on impact fees to try to see if we could stimulate more economic development. And it's starting to show right now. We had the elderly care facility that just opened over by Honeysuckle Park. Really, really nice facility. It's just state of the art.
Very nice.
I don't know if you've been in there, but I have, and it is something. We have another one right now that's trying to get sited. We'll double the size of that one, so it'll be at least that size. It's in the planning process right now. They originally wanted to put it way out on Game Bird, which didn't make sense because of the cost of sewer and water to get it out there, and the fire protection was a big question mark. Right now they're negotiating with somebody closer in town here, and hopefully that'll be coming forward real soon for the public to see. And then we'll have another brand new facility, which will fill up quite quickly because there's a huge demand for elderly folks in Vegas to come out here where it's a little less expensive.
Yeah, it's well, being that it's what did you say the commercial break, 60% retirees. It kind of plays into the culture of here. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on tonight, and we really thank you for the insight, and hopefully we'll have you on again.
Oh, definitely, my pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Boraski. We'll be back next week, Thursday, 5:30. See you then.
Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.